Welcome to another deep dive. You guys sent in some pretty awesome stuff for this one. Footage, images, articles, all sorts of things. Really seems like there might be a lot more going on than we realize, both in the skies above us and the oceans below.
Yeah, it is pretty fascinating stuff he sent in. Covers all sorts of unexplained things, from strange objects near the moon to bizarre lights that show up with lightning storms,
Yeah.
and even maybe some evidence of old structures hidden under the waves.
Oh yeah, let's start with the moon. You sent this video taken through a telescope. It looks like there are big objects orbiting or maybe even passing over the edge of the moon. The crazy part is how big they seem, much bigger than any lunar orbiters I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that is pretty bizarre, isn't
Yeah.
it? It makes you wonder if maybe there's more going on up there than we know about. And then there are those Google Moon images you sent, the ones with the craters that have strange shapes inside them.
Oh, right. There's one with a rectangular thing casting a shadow. It almost looks like a plane taking off. And then there's another one that has a triangular shaped object.
Yeah, that one is especially weird. Looks a lot like those monoliths they found on Mars and Phobos.
Monoliths. Okay, now we're talking. Before we get too far, can you give us a quick rundown on monoliths and what the theories are about them?
Sure. Well, depending on who you ask, monoliths are either alien monuments or maybe relics from some ancient civilization,
Hmm.
or maybe they're just natural formations that happen to look like geometric shapes. I guess some folks think they were made by extraterrestrials as like markers or maybe even a way to communicate.
Hmm.
And others think they could be remnants of civilizations that existed way before we think history started.
That's wild. It's pretty crazy to think about whatever might have been happening on these celestial bodies long before humans ever went into space.
Huh.
What do you think is most interesting about these lunar anomalies?
I'd say it's the size of those things.
Hmm.
I mean, the fact that they're big enough to be seen from Earth with fairly basic equipment suggests a level of engineering we haven't quite figured out yet.
You've got a point there. Definitely makes you wonder about the capabilities that might be out there. Okay, let's switch gears to those glowing orbs that seem to be popping up all over the world. You sent a lot of footage of those.
It's true, you sent a ton. And it does seem like the number of these sightings from all around the world
Yeah.
means that it's more than just a handful of isolated events. It really seems to be a pretty widespread thing.
Yeah, definitely. Let's start with the footage from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It shows this bright red orb just sort of hovering near a lightning storm. And the person who filmed it said it wasn't even raining, just lightning.
That's interesting. There does seem to be a pattern of these orbs showing up near these dry lightning storms. You know, lightning without the rain and thunder we usually see. It's kind of weird that they show up together.
Yeah, it is. And then there's the footage from Long Island. It shows a bunch of orbs in formation. You can actually hear the people who are filming it. They're reacting to it in real time, trying to figure out what they're seeing.
It really shows how genuinely odd and confused people are when they see these things. I mean, people want a rational explanation, but they often just can't find one.
Absolutely. And it's not just Pennsylvania and Long Island. These orbs are being reported all over the globe, so that makes it even harder to write them off as just weather events or misidentified aircraft.
Yeah, it does seem to point to something beyond, local weather conditions or any conventional explanation. Looks like a global phenomenon that needs more investigation.
Now let's go from the orbs here on Earth to some possible orbs in space. You sent us those NASA SDS mission images from 2001, the ones that show what looks like a bunch of metallic orbs out in space. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Sure. Well, these pictures were taken during the Space Shuttle Endeavour's mission to the International Space Station. And it's kind of strange. They were first posted on NASA's website, and then they disappeared for a while, but then they came back later in a different section of the website.
That is strange. It's like someone was trying to downplay the sighting or hide it or something. What's interesting is that when you compare two of the images, you can see that the orbs moved a bit, which means they aren't just some kind of smudge on the picture.
Right. That pretty much rules out a photographic glitch or a reflection. It looks like these are actual physical objects moving around in space. And remember, this was during a mission to the International Space Station, not just some random observation from Earth.
It makes you wonder what NASA caught on camera. Okay, so we've got orbs in the sky and maybe even orbs in space. Now let's talk about those secret surveillance satellites that the U.S. Air Force launched. They say it's to watch for threats in space, but why are we seeing so many of these secret launches these days?
Well, that's a good question. The fact that there are more and more of these classified missions does make you wonder what exactly they're keeping an eye on. You know, like that NRL 37 mission, for instance, which was super hush-hush.
Right, and the emblem they used for that mission was the Black Knight. Can you give us a little background on that and why they would choose that specific symbol for a secret mission?
Sure. Well, the Black Knight, it refers to that legend of an alien satellite.
Yep.
The one that was supposedly detected orbiting Earth way before we had the technology to launch our own satellites. It's been subject of speculation and conspiracy theories for decades. Now, as to why they picked that emblem for the NRL-37 mission, I don't know. It's kind of a mystery.
Yeah, it's a pretty provocative choice, especially for a mission that's supposed to be top secret. Makes you wonder if they're kind of hinting at the existence of alien tech or maybe even trying to send a message. What do you think?
Well, it could be a few things. Maybe it is a subtle nod to the possibility of alien technology. Or maybe it's a way to mislead people about what the mission's really about. Or, hey, maybe it's just a fun reference. Who knows?
It's definitely an interesting move that adds to the whole discussion about what's going on in space. All right, let's go from the mysteries in the sky to the ocean depths now. You sent us some info on those alien balls that washed up on the beaches in England. What was the deal with those?
Oh, right. Those weird spheres, they really freaked people out when they first appeared. I mean, people were worried about alien eggs or something. But it turns out they were just dead sea potatoes.
Sea potatoes.
Yeah, it's a type of marine animal. They're related to sea urchins and starfish. It just goes to show how easily something unfamiliar can be misinterpreted, especially when it comes to the ocean. There's still so many mysteries down there.
That's true. We've explored like less than 5% of the ocean. Who knows what else is down there? And speaking of things down there, you also sent us information about some pyramid-shaped structures that were found off the coast of New York City on Google Earth.
Oh yeah, those formations are really something else. I mean, they're huge, and the way they're shaped and how close together they are, it seems like they might be more than just natural rock formations.
Exactly. And there's what looks like a path or a road connecting them. Could these be like remnants of some ancient civilization that's now underwater?
It's a possibility. Sea levels have gone up and down quite a bit over Earth's history. Sometimes whole land masses have been submerged.
Wow, it's crazy to think there might be entire cities or civilizations hidden beneath the waves.
And on that note, what about that huge rectangular opening that was found in an underwater mountain off the coast of Mexico? Some people are calling it a secret underwater base, or even an alien hangar.
Ah, that's where the USOs come in, the unidentified submerged objects. There have been tons of reports about things going into and out of the ocean, which makes you think there's a lot more going on down there than we know.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? The ocean would be a great place to hide something really big. Oh yeah, for sure. It's like a natural camouflage.
Yeah.
Super hard to detect anything, even with all the technology we have.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, but I want to touch on one more thing before we wrap up this part of the dive. You sent us info about supernova ash that was found in fossils here on Earth.
Yep, this is a pretty recent discovery, and it has some pretty big implications for understanding Earth's history and the potential dangers that are out there in space. Basically, what they found is iron-60, which is a radioactive isotope produced by supernovas, and they found it in fossilized magnetite crystals that are millions of years old.
Wait, so you're saying that a star blew up somewhere relatively close to Earth and showered our planet with its debris?
Pretty much. And this finding suggests that a supernova explosion might have even caused a mass extinction event millions of years ago.
Wow, that's a pretty sobering thought. We've got potential dangers in space, weird objects near the moon, orbs all over the place, secret satellites watching who knows what, and now evidence of a supernova hitting Earth millions of years ago. That's a lot to digest.
It does make you realize that the universe is a much more active and potentially dangerous place than we often think about.
It's amazing how all these seemingly unrelated things are starting to connect. But let's pause here for now. We'll pick up this conversation in part 2 and explore some of these connections further.
Yeah, it really is amazing, isn't it, how these seemingly random events can start to connect when you really start digging into them.
It is. It's like we were just talking about potential dangers from space, strange objects near the moon, orbs appearing everywhere, those secret satellites, and then you've got evidence of a supernova hitting Earth millions of years ago. So much to think about. Before we move on, though, you sent in some footage of hundreds of those orbs moving over the Bronx. That one really blew my mind.
Yeah, that one is something else. The sheer number of orbs in that video, and in a place like the Bronx, no less, I mean, it really shows how widespread this phenomenon might actually be.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, it looks like something from a movie. But there are so many people who saw it and recorded it. it's hard to just dismiss it as fake.
Absolutely. When you've got multiple people all seeing and recording the same thing from different angles, it definitely makes it more credible.
So we've got these orbs popping up all over the place, and it seems like they often show up near those dry lightning storms, the ones with no rain or thunder. Do we know anything more about that?
Well, the connection between the orbs and these strange lightning storms is definitely one of the more interesting parts of this whole thing. I mean, we know that some technologies can mess with weather patterns to some extent. So it's possible that someone or something could be using advanced tech to make these localized, unusual storms.
Whoa, wait, you're suggesting these storms could be artificially created?
It's a possibility, isn't it? I mean, we need more information to say for sure, but it's an idea that shouldn't be ruled out completely.
Okay, yeah, that definitely changes things. So let's say these storms are artificial and then these orbs show up. What could the link be there?
That's the big question. Are the orbs somehow attracted to these storms? Or are they the ones making the storms?
Mm.
Or is it all just a crazy coincidence?
It's a good question. What if the orbs are using the storms as a cover? A way to hide what they're doing?
Hmm, that's an interesting thought. It's possible.
Ah,
But it's also possible that the storms themselves are creating some kind of energy field or atmospheric disturbance that the orbs are drawn to or can use somehow. I mean, we know that lightning creates powerful electromagnetic pulses, so maybe that's a factor.
this is all so fascinating, but it's also frustrating. There's so many questions and so few answers. I hope more research and investigation will help us understand these connections better. Speaking of things we don't understand, let's talk more about those USOs, the unidentified submerged objects.
Ah, yes. The mysteries of the deep. It's something that has always captured people's imaginations.
For good reason, right? The thought of something unknown down in the water, it's scary and exciting all at the same time. We've got all these stories from sailors, fishermen, even military people about strange lights and objects moving underwater, sometimes super fast. What do you think about all of that? Are they just misidentifying things, or is there something more to it?
Well, when you look at the sheer number of reports over the centuries from all over the world, it does make you think there's more to it than just people seeing things.
I agree. And some of the stories are pretty wild. Like there are reports of these USOs coming out of the water and flying off into the sky.
Yeah, it's true. There seems to be a link between the USO sightings and the UFO sightings. It makes you wonder if they're somehow connected.
I know. Like, what if some of those UFOs we're seeing are actually USOs that have just transitioned from water to air?
That's a really interesting thought. I mean, if there's a technology that could do that, it would explain how these things seem to just appear and disappear out of nowhere.
Right. Imagine a civilization or technology that's so advanced it can move between the ocean and space.
Now, that would require a level of technology beyond anything we can even comprehend.
Seriously, my mind is blown. We've got orbs in the sky, maybe linked to artificial lightning storms, strange things on the moon and in the ocean, secret satellites, and now maybe USOs zipping between the water and the air. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is. It's like we're getting glimpses of something happening just outside our understanding. Something hidden but real. We have so many questions and not a lot of answers.
That's for sure. It makes you wonder, what else is out there? What are we not seeing? What don't we know?
That's the beauty of knowledge. The more you learn, the more you realize how much you still don't know.
So what's the most important thing you want listeners to take away from this deep dive? What do you hope they'll remember?
I want them to be curious. Don't be afraid of the mystery. Question what you think you know, and be open to the possibility that the truth might be much stranger and more amazing than you could ever imagine.
I like that.
Yeah.
Embrace the mystery. Because sometimes the most important discoveries are the ones that lead to even more questions. But we're running out of time for this part of our deep dive. We'll be back with part 3 to wrap things up and share some final thoughts and theories. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive. We've gone over some pretty wild stuff. From strange things near the moon to orbs in the sky to maybe even structures underwater. It's been an interesting ride. So as we wrap this up, what are your main takeaways from everything we've discussed?
Well, it's pretty clear from all the material you sent that there's a lot more going on in the universe than we realize. We've barely scratched the surface of some pretty big mysteries, haven't we?
Definitely. Let's try and connect some of the dots here. We've got potential evidence of weird activity on the moon, orbs showing up worldwide, usually near those strange lightning storms, and then we've got secret satellites launching, probably watching something in space.
Right. And then we head down to the ocean and find those pyramid-like things off New York that possible underwater hangar near Mexico and all those stories about USOs,
Yeah.
it really does feel like there's a whole other reality happening right under our noses.
It does, doesn't it? So many questions pop up. Could all those things be connected somehow? The orbs, the objects near the moon, the USOs. Are we looking at separate things, or is it all related in some way?
It's a good question. I think it deserves more investigation. I mean, if we entertain the possibility that we're not alone in the universe, that there could be other intelligent beings out there, then it's not crazy to think that maybe some of these things are signs of their presence or activity.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. So let's say, hypothetically, that these things are signs of extraterrestrial activity. What would that mean? What would their intentions be?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I don't think we have enough information to answer it definitively. I mean, some people think that any civilization advanced enough to travel between stars would probably be peaceful, driven by curiosity and exploration. But others are more cautious. They say, look at our own history. We've got a lot of conflict and exploitation. Maybe a more advanced civilization wouldn't be so different.
That's true. It's like a balance between curiosity and caution, hope, and fear of the unknown. This deep dive has definitely given us a lot to think about. So, where do we go from here? What's the next step in trying to understand all this?
Well, I think we just keep searching. Keep asking questions, keep challenging the assumptions we make. We share information, work together, encourage critical thinking, and most importantly, we stay open to the possibility that the truth might be way weirder and more wonderful than we ever imagined.
I love that. Stay open to the possibilities. Because sometimes the most important discoveries are the ones that make us ask even more questions.
Well, this has been an incredible journey. It really makes you realize how much is going on beyond what we see every day. It's
Hmm.
like there's another reality running parallel to ours, full of mysteries and possibilities that we're just starting to catch glimpses of.
I agree. There's always something new to discover, something new to learn, something new to question. And the journey of exploration is often the best part. So keep searching, keep wondering, keep questioning, and who knows what amazing things you might uncover.